I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
All right. Let me go ahead and mention this, right? And what I'm about to say is what I'm about to say might be it's going to be controversial. Well, it's about a controversial topic, so I'm not going to mention a name. But what happened yesterday, as I went to work and I listened to the news, and I got to say that is the most deplorable act in the name of diplomacy. The entity, I'm gonna call it the entity that's in the Middle East, that's in the Levant, decided to launch an airstrike on diplomats in Qatar. Qatar and the entity, it is a placeholder name because how because you can't criticize the country, right? You know what? I ain't gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna just say Israel, right? I'm just beat around the bush. Israel. So Israel launched an attack on a country that they signed a peace agreement with 5 years ago. In order to get to a third party. This is the reason why I gotta say though, this is one of the reasons why ties need to be cut. That's why I think the evangelical church needs to be targeted because they the one help fund. You know, it may not be directly fund, but they give propaganda to the right wing elements within Israel. Now you just signed a peace deal a few years ago, and then you decided to put your bombs, fly a airplane all over there, and bomb somebody's house just because that terrorist group. You know, there are better ways of doing things, right? Right. That tagline they keep on saying, right? The tagline, oh, we got the right to defend themselves. That's like me saying, oh, let me go to because I have a beef with Roger. You mean, and if Roger is at Dan's house and Dan invite me over to discuss how to squash the beef, but I come back into Dan's house and take out Roger out. That don't make any sense. Because whatever goodwill that may have been done is screwed. So by doing this, you mean any ambassador, because by international law, ambassadors are protected, even from the enemy country. China is an enemy of the United States, but the ambassador and the consuls, they are to be protected because it is communication. And it's also, it's a means of communication and peace and goodwill. And that's what diplomats are supposed to be doing. That's their job. Is to be a mediator. And this is sick. No excuse should be made about this. None. None. I'm not gonna be live. I'm not gonna be live for long because I got to put a memory card in this computer. I'm gonna change out, upgrade my RAMs, but it's just that. It's just that the world is going backwards. It's like everybody just lose their and here's how I see this, right? Here's how I see this, right? The strike on Qatar is an attitude of white supremacy. I'm just going to do whatever I got to do because I can, because I got the military power to do it. Oh, I got the army to do it. I got the airplanes and the battleships to do it. I'm just going to do it because I got it. Not even thinking about 20, 30 years ahead. Notwithstanding, how this will look. You don't bomb a country that has nothing to do with your situation. But we have these evangelical alt-right pastors in America who's going to overlook this because they're part of that Christian nationalism movement. They're going to overlook all of this. But international law has been broken. See, the thing is, they want, or no, I ain't gonna say they. I'm gonna say them. Them, as in the ultra right wing. They want war. They want long lasting conflict. with impunity, with impunity. So they're willing to sacrifice tens, if not thousands, of lives just so a man who's seeking vengeance for his dead brother who died 45 years ago. A man who is so bigoted, and his bigotry, he's allowing his bigotry to kill and destroy, and putting his grandchildren and his great grandchildren in jeopardy because he has something he can't resolve. And I'm talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, right? You know, still trying to avenge his brother's death from the 1970s. See, what is going on is sickening. And America, in my opinion, is America. You know, there's one thing about the Trump administration, or I should say the Trump years. The Trump years, or I say the Trump by Biden years, right? Because you have to add Biden into it, because Biden, you know, because from 2016 up till today, America shows that it is a country run by idiots. It shows that the country is run by people who don't understand the world. And when I said don't understand the world, yeah, they might understand economics, they might understand banking, but they don't understand people, and they don't understand history, right? They don't understand it. History is going to judge this wrong. They're going to judge this harshly about what happened. And people 40, 50 years ahead, they're going to ask in 2060, in 2065, people are going to ask, why did the people of the early years of the 21st century did not sit there and got rid of the right wing in Israel? Why did the American government did not cut ties? See, that's going to be the question that's going to be asked. Now, I may not be here to see it. I may not be here to see it. And since I'm a black man, I might not pass the age of 55. But what I'm saying is, I may not be here to see that. But that question is going to be asked. Why was America somebody else's lapdog? And eventually, they're going to ask this question. They're going to ask that question as they stood on a pile of rubble. Okay? Okay. Make no mistake. People of the Eastern world have a very long memory. The Middle East, the Arab nations, the Asians, Even some of your African countries have a long memory. And just because they was not born yet, but they still got the memory of their grandparents. They got that memory. That memory gonna be passed to the next few generations. They're not going to forget it. They're not going to forget the disrespect. They're not going to forget, breaking one's honor, breaking one's code. They're not. You see, the problem with I'm gonna do a video on this though. I'm gonna do a pre-record video because I gotta go in onto the evangelical community because I gotta roast them. I gotta roast them and everything else because yeah, especially that Bishop Patrick Wooden. I gotta go off on him. I gotta go ham, right? So stay tuned for that. That if I ever, when I get this computer fixed, that's gonna be who I'm gonna have to drag. Talk about everybody else, but you ain't talking about the Epstein files. You tell black people to vote for Donald Trump, and you overlook Donald Trump's bullshit. But you talk about Kamala, this, that, and third. She's evil. You said something about transsexuals targeting kids in schools, but then you don't want to talk about the Epstein files where you got young people, young men. No, young. Well, actually, there was some young boys up in there, but you got young girls being, put them in the island for sex. So, no, I'm put a new memory in it. Hold on, let me get rid of you. Ban user and his content. Yeah, you gone. No, don't even. We ain't talking no fucking passport, bro. Small brain niggas. But anyway, where was I at? So on that angle, I'm just like, y'all don't. The West have this idea of might makes right. They also believe in that idea of Christianity, and when I'm going to talk about Christianity, I'm not attacking Christianity. I'm attacking this motive, this MO, right? The mode of operation, right? Of how some people will use the Bible for, let's forgive our trespasses, the Lord's prayer where it says, forgive our trans or trespasses and all that. They're going to hide behind that. And white people, the white members of the Western world hides behind that. They use, they commit atrocities and they hide behind that Lord's prayer, talking about forgive our trespasses, while they forgot in the Bible you're supposed to atone for that. Not only are you supposed to atone for that, you're supposed to make amends and right what you did is wrong. And what you did is generational. It's not, one generation. No, it's generational. And this is what they don't seem to grasp. Yeah, exactly. Release Release the Epstein files. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and George, I'm about to go. George, I went back to where like the black Christians are at. Man, I like that. Like like just like that woman who, man, I'm gonna talk about that later. I gotta do video on that. I gotta do video on that. So-called Christians are doing. You know, the guy put his leg up on the pulpit, and I'm like, why you put your leg on the pulpit on the not the pulpit, but on the you know the lecture, the podium, right? And hooping and hollering. Why would you have a woman who's supposed to be? I'm talking about this. There's this woman in Houston who was a pastor of this church, and she was telling off one of the other members of the church for why didn't you hug me? She ran on a rant, being a Karen on the pulpit. Why the sister of the church did not hug her? I'm looking at all these videos. And say, see, I gotta go off on that black church. I gotta go off on the black church. So stay tuned because I'm going to have to roast the black church. I'm going to have to do it. But instead I'm going to roast the evangelical community. I'm going to have to roast them too because they all back this what's going on in the Middle East. They're backing this bullshit, and they're not calling this shit out. Even as an American citizen, you should have called it out because you can't sit there and say, "Thou shalt not," talking about Paul robbing Paul to pay Peter. Well, how can they get free health care, free education, free this, that, and the third, right? But members in your community is broke and poor. Wait, hold on. I'm hearing something. I don't know what that is. I'm hearing rumbling. Is that it must be on the road? But yeah, I'm just looking at this like you know the black church especially. You got all these nice brick building white wood clad frame houses, but every house around it is decimated. But I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm gonna talk about that on a later video. That's another layer. I want to. That's a whole other layer I want to go into. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna lean into that. From what perspective I'm gonna lean into that. But anyway, you as an American pay money. You should be talking about. Wait a minute. Why is my money going overseas and it is not in and I pay taxes, but none of that money's helping me out. None of that is helping me out as a man, as a woman, as a child. How's that help? Ain't helping my kids. Ain't helping my mama. Ain't helping my daddy. Ain't helping. Y'all should be. These are questions that should be asked. But y'all scared. See, some people around here are scared to ask these questions because we don't want to upset MAGA. We don't want to upset Trump. You know. But anyway, I said enough, man. I'm gonna go to bed for the next 2 hours, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna fix this. Yeah, fix this computer though. Upgrade this computer. So um, I'm gonna buy me a new one too. I'm buying a new laptop too. I'm buying me a new one. Um, right, George. Right, George. You know, I'm just looking at the blatant hypocrisy, George. I'm looking at the hypocrisy of it all. You know, and George, I'm gonna say this to you, George. I want to thank you, George. I want to thank you for being loyal. I'll tell you that right now. Thank you for being loyal. You know, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. You know, but anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna do a couple. I'm gonna close my eyes for a couple hours because I've been working last night. I saw a lot of carnage last night. Um, Keep it 100, cooking the shit out of May. I find that fucking funny. Um, um, that drip issue. Drip needs to change his name from Drip Nation to Leak Nation because Drip over here, he leaking. Drip is leaking, man. A leaky bucket. Call yourself Drip Nation, nigga. Your ass is Leak Nation. You're leaking all over the place. Trying to blame everybody for that scam. Yeah. I saw some of that bullshit last night. I saw some of that bullshit last night. But I'm watching that in the clouds. I'm watching that bullshit in the clouds. I ain't gonna say much, but that is some hoe ass shit though. That was some hoe ass shit. So, but anyway. Oh, you know what? It's getting cool down here in Texas, man. It's getting cool. It's like kind of chilly in the morning. Shit. It's chilly down here, man. Damn. That's why I'm sniffling and shit. It's been chilly in the morning. But anyway, let me get off of here. Y'all be easy. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm not gonna fix this thing. I'll fix it tomorrow. Fuck it. I'll work on it tomorrow. Shit. I got work. I gotta change that thing in the car. I got buy me give me couple tires for the car. That's right. Yeah. Set my priorities right. But anyway, let me get off of here. Y'all be easy, and I'm out of here. And peace.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.